Welcome to Flash Basics, Tutorial 12, Frame Animation. Have the CS5 program opened and start by opening a new Flash document. Keep the action script 3, the width 700, change that, the height 550, and where it says background color, click on that and pick up some light blue, and we're trying to make a sort of like a sky here, so click on that, and the pinwheel here, if you want a lighter color, scroll up here and say OK. That's the color I'm picking for my sky. Okay, there it is, my background. Now to save some time, I have a few layers. I have items drawn in a few layers, and we're going to go through these quickly one at a time. Put your stage down to about 50% so we can get some perspective here. The first layer, I have the sun. So you're going to draw a sun on the first layer. The second layer, I'm calling it a box, it's a bench. The third layer, I made a little flower pot. The fourth layer is a bag of seeds. This is a seed commercial we're making here. Water can, not very elaborate thing. Some flowers that end up in the pot. Some text, box to put text in. And there's the text that goes in that box. Money back guarantee. Go back, draw this down so I can see all my frames, all my layers. Go up to frame, we want this to be about 10 seconds long, and I got 24 frames per second, so 240 around there. Just click on that, draw a line down, and at this point in time insert a keyframe. Let's scroll back to the first of the timeline. I want to see the sun all the time, so that's going to be okay. I want to see the box, the seed. I don't need to see the flowers yet. So click here, and you see that little fuzzy square? Well, you got that. Left click and drag that way up to about 40 for now. The money back guarantee and the text, click, get both of them blue, go on again till you get that fuzzy rectangle, drag that up to about 45. So now when we pan back here, we're just going to see this stuff first. Okay, let's start with the seed box. Pull this up. I'm going to start with the seed box itself, the seed pack. Unlock that layer. There's my seed pack. When it starts, I want it to be relatively seen on screen. I then want to make it get smaller. So up about 10 frames, insert what's called a keyframe. Insert keyframe. That just carries that information up to here. Hold your shift button down. Get this free transform tool. Highlight it. Make sure you have these little squares. Hold your shift button down. Go into the corner and make this a little bit smaller. Go to about frame. Skip about 3 frames. Insert another keyframe. Still got the little squares around it. Go to the corner and you see how I get that arch. Just tilt it a little bit, and using your left arrow key, bring it a little closer. Actually, let's go back up here and click on this frame and get that little fuzzy square, and let's make this like 5 frames long. That's better. Okay, so it's moving a little bit. Let's jump in there. Go up 5 more frames. Insert keyframe. tilt it a little more. Using your arrow keys, bring it over a little closer. Couple 5 more frames. Insert a keyframe. Tilt it a little more. Bring it a little closer. You can even bring it down if you wish. No, let's not do that. Let's bring it a little closer. And let's do 5 more frames. Insert a keyframe. And a little bit more. There. So that's going to be our box. Once it gets here, now the seeds. We need to select this seed pack or insert a layer. Call that layer seeds. S-E-E-D-S. Seeds. At that time frame, mine's around 26. It's the last time frame where this is tilted. Insert a blank keyframe and draw here 3 little seeds. So what I'm going to do is zoom in a little bit, pick up my oval tool, get some kind of a brownish color in here, and make 3 little seeds. 1, 2, 3. There they are. And I'm going to select them all and drag them over here like this. Going to insert a keyframe about 5 frames on that layer. Insert a keyframe. Now one at a time I'm going to bring these seeds down. Select that one, bring it down. Select that one, bring it down. Select them one at a time, bring them down. 1, 2, 3. 5 more frames, insert a keyframe. This bottom one I'm going to delete. This one here I'm going to bring down almost all the way. This one, 5 more frames. You can do this as many as you want, take as long as you want. Insert a keyframe. Now in my case my flowers got in the way, so I'm going back up to this timeline, which gets tricky to manipulate now when it's so long, and I'm going to select that first frame of my timeline, select it all, and just drag it up here out of my way for now. Okay, and go back to where I was working, back here. Follow me. This is where they drop there down to 2, and here I got to take this bottom one, delete it, and take this one and put it down one more spot, and do one more. Insert keyframe, delete this one, and at this point in time I can go back to my, lock that layer, I can go back to my seed pack, insert a keyframe here, and I can start to bring my pack back. So get your free transform tool, got the squares around it, rotate it, arrow it back a little bit, up 5 frames, insert a keyframe, rotate it, bring it back slightly, up 5 frames, rotate it, and one more. Now I want to click one more keyframe, insert a keyframe, and now I want to delete it. Yeah, delete it. Go all the way back to frame 1 of the seed pack. Click here. While you're on the frame, right click. It says copy frame. So I'm copying that frame and everything that's in it. Go back up to the end here where we were, right here where this keyframe is. select it, right click, paste frame, and that puts that right back to where it was, and it jumps bigger. So let's just see what we got right now. We spill the seeds, and the box comes back. Good. Now we're going to do a little timing on the flowers. And some water. Lock all the layers. Select the layer called water can. Go back. Scroll back to where we end up dumping the last. Here's where the seed pack comes back to sitting at its rest position. Right there. Now the water can. Unlock that layer. Click on that same layer. Insert a keyframe. And now we're going to do the same or similar thing with the water can. Up about 5 frames. Insert a keyframe. Lift it up. Make sure your free transform tool has these squares around it. Start to tilt it. Up about 4 or 5 frames, insert a keyframe. Up and over to the, I'm just actually bringing it over to the right as I'm lifting it instead of using my arrow keys. Tilt it a little more, and we're going to do one more here. Insert a keyframe to get it over at the top. And now we're going to lock that layer, insert a layer, and call it water. At that same time frame of the water layer, insert a blank keyframe. Pick up your brush tool, and I think the fill is for the brush tool. Pick up a whitish color. Actually, a gray is good. See that gray right there? So I'm going to pick it up, but I'm going to click on it again, go to the pinwheel, and I want it to be a lesser gray. There, okay. And just quickly brush some water. Don't be fussy what it looks like. On your water layer, go up 5 frames, insert a keyframe, add a little more water. And we'll do one more. Up 5 frames. And again, we ran into this flower problem because I didn't take it far enough. So let's go up to the end here. First of all, where we're at the other things end. Get the blue, draw down, go right over to the end till you get these fuzzy squares. Right click, remove all those frames. Go back to where we're dealing with this water here. Those top 3 frames, grab them. And I think we can just take that once we get some blue and just drag it to the right a bit. That'll give me some more room to work with my water. So I go back to here to this last frame where we did the water. See, it's doing this. Boom, boom, boom. Now at this point in time, take your eraser and erase some of this. You're only going to erase the water because everything else is locked. Insert another frame. Erase a little bit more. At the same time now, our water can line, so lock the water, unlock the water can, insert a keyframe here, and use your free transform tool. You got the squares. Start to bring this back. Bring this back a little bit. Okay, so now go up here and click on both of them like this. At the 5 more frames, insert keyframes. Let's do the water first because it's selected. Straighten it out a little bit. Bring it down. And let's unlock the water layer and completely erase the water. So now all the water is done. And watch that. That's not going to hurt because it's on a different layer. So now we're finished with the water. We can actually click from here over and remove all those frames from the water. Okay, so we have the waters taken care of. We're back here on the last keyframe of the water can. So unlock the water can, lock the water, go up 5 frames approximately, insert keyframe, free transform tool, and this is going to be just putting it like this a little bit, and then this one here, insert keyframe. This is where we're going to go back to frame 1 of the water can, select frame 1, right click, copy frame, go up to that last keyframe here, and right click, paste frame, and the water pitcher's back where it was. Almost finished. We want some time to elapse, so let's select those 3 layers again. Select about that many frames there, drag them over, and let's look at what's going on here. I'm not seeing my water can, and I'm because there, yeah, see that water can line? Go all the way up to the end of the water can here. Insert a keyframe. Let's just test this out, see what this looks like. There's a seed box, dumps the seeds and the water, and we wait and flowers grow, money back guarantee. I think I just want to do something with that money back guarantee. So lock all layers. Money back guarantee. Well, let's take the text and delay that a little bit. So click on that first frame. Click again until you get that fuzzy squares and drag that up a little bit. Unlock your background. Go up 15 frames or so. Insert keyframes on both of those layers. Make sure them 2 layers are unlocked. With your free transform tool selected, I'm doing turning the background now. See the background turned. Now I wanted to select let's do that. Lock the background. Now you're going to select the text with the free transform tool. Turn that. Go up about 15 frames or so. Lock all layers. Select those 2 frames, right click, insert blank keyframe this time, and this is how we're going to do that. Go back to where both, click on this and grab both of those, make sure both of these layers are selected. That's where my first text layer comes. Right click, copy those 2 frames, and there's our last keyframe right here. Right click, paste those frames, and that'll put it back where it was. Select these 2 frames, drag them to the end, and that should be our little video. Oops, I want them to go right to the end, so collect the nose, put them there. Test movie. Seeds go in, give it some water, wait some time, the flowers grow, money back guarantee. And then it's going to start over. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learn.